Member for Nechako Lakes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And as I mentioned in the introduction to the gallery today with the healthcare professionals that are here, I just thought I would highlight some of the people that are here. They've come as far away as Nelson, come from across the lower mainland, across the island, include many doctors, family doctors, radiologists, surgeons, naturopaths, other people, for example, traditional medicine, many nurses from across the thing, occupational therapists, physical therapists, and so many more. And there is many outside as well. And they've all come here today because they have a concern with Bill 36. They have a concern with our healthcare system. And they're here today to express those concerns. And in particular, they're concerned about the privacy of individual and their patients' records. They're concerned about the ability to be able to provide professional medical advice based on their experience. They're concerned about, of course, the crisis in BC's healthcare system. And they think Bill 36 is a massive overreach by government that will only cause additional problems in our healthcare system. I've asked the Minister of Health, Mr. Speaker, to pause the implementation of Bill 36 and to do a comprehensive engagement with the healthcare professionals across this province. To the Premier, since the Minister won't commit to doing this, will you instruct the Minister of Health to stop the implementation of Bill 36 until a full and comprehensive engagement with healthcare professionals across BC has been undertaken?
Minister of Health.
Thank you. Bill 36, Honourable Speaker, represented the first major amendment to the Health Professions Act in 3 decades. In 2018, I asked for an investigation and review by a world-leading expert, Harry Caton, into the Health Professions Act. Subsequent to that, members of the New Democratic Caucus, myself, members from the Official Opposition Caucus, members of the Green Caucus, came together to review that report and to make recommendations, all of which were reflected in Bill 36. That process involved extraordinary public engagement. More than 4,300 people participated in that public engagement, 71% of whom were health professionals. Subsequent to that, we had an engagement with First Nations because in the midst of that process, we had the in plain sight report and we had, Honourable Speaker, a significant requirement under reconciliation to engage with First Nations. Subsequent to that, Honourable Speaker, we had a 47.5-hour debate in this legislature, Honourable Speaker, the second longest debate on any bill in this century.
Members. Let's hear the answer, please. Minister will continue.
The legislation protects patients, empowers patients, Honourable Speaker, provides protection when people bring forward complaints, Honourable Speaker, including supports, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I just say to the members opposite, our focus, the focus of the committee, the focus of the opposition, the Green Party that worked on that committee, was protecting patients, Honourable Speaker. And that's exactly what the
Members will come to order. Members. Minister will continue.
Honourable Speaker, I can tell you that the consultation we did, unprecedented in the history of the province, did not involve people yelling at each other. Honourable Speaker, I would say this, Honourable Speaker, that the concerns raised by the Honourable Member, including concerns about access to patient records, reflect areas that are absolutely unchanged from the present legislation. And I suggest in his decades in the legislature, he might have raised those concerns if he had them at the time, Honourable Speaker. The fact of the matter is there is no change when an independent investigator investigates, for example, a concern around sexual abuse. They have a right under limited circumstances to access patient records. That's what it is now. That's what it will be after Bill 36 is proclaimed.
Member for Nechako Lakes, supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the Minister for that answer. The engagement that he talks about, this broad engagement, did not include the full scope of what's in this bill, what's in Bill 36. That engagement with the opposition members did not include the full scope of what is in that bill. there is a crisis in our healthcare system today. These professionals have taken time out of their profession, away from being able to provide the services. They've taken time away from their family. They've traveled across the province to be here to express their concern, because they have a legitimate concern about our healthcare system in the province of British Columbia. They have a legitimate concern for their patients. Mr. Speaker, to me, to the thousands of people that signed the petition that I will be introducing after question period today, they have expressed these concerns. They want answers. They are angry. And I can tell you, the health professionals here, they want to be part of the answer. They want to be part of being able to provide better services. They don't want this government to be making them an enemy. So, Mr. Speaker, two parts to this question. The first is an ask of the minister to meet with these healthcare professionals that are here and the ones that are outside to be able to answer questions that they have around this. But most importantly, Mr. Speaker, there is a large list of questions that these healthcare providers have gone through. This is a very large bill. They've gone through it in detail. They've provided these questions to the minister. And I want to ask, through you, to the Premier, if he will commit today to asking his minister to answer these questions so these healthcare providers can be fully engaged, and to pause going forward with Bill 36 until that full engagement can be had and we can assure the people in this province that our healthcare system will be improved and not damaged by the Bill 36.
Thank you. People in the gallery, please be careful. Don't make any responses to any questions or answer. Minister of Health.
Honourable Speaker, this piece of legislation, which reflects the recommendation of the In Plain Sight report, that reflects the recommendations of the all-party committee that reviewed it, Honourable Speaker, takes a proactive approach to the elimination of discrimination in our healthcare system. Anybody who read the In Plain Sight report and doesn't think that action should be taken urgently, and this is action that's been taken after 5 years of consultation of thousands of health professionals, Honourable Speaker. And my strong view is, Honourable Speaker, my strong view is that a bill that empowers the public, that says when there's a contrary action, not when there's a complaint, when there's a contrary action, that there should be transparency for patients in our province. That's long overdue, Honourable Speaker. When you have a bill, Honourable Speaker, that takes proactive action against discrimination after the In Plain Sight report, after a significant consultation with First Nations under both the reconciliation provisions and the In Plain Sight working group, Honourable Speaker, that it's time to act against discrimination in healthcare. It's time to act to protect patients. It's time to act, Honourable Speaker, to bring the bill in the 20th century. That is why we did 5 years of consultation, Honourable Speaker. And when we had those meetings together, Honourable Speaker, the opposition parties and ourselves, it wasn't one side yelling at the other side, Honourable Speaker, one side trying to prove that they can be more objectionable than another party, Honourable Speaker. That's what we did in BC. We put together a system of...
Members will come to order. Members will come to order now. Members, please. Minister will conclude.
Honourable Speaker, all of that consultation took place, I think, in an atmosphere of respect. 5 years of it, thousands of health professionals, full involvement of the opposition, full involvement of Indigenous people. We're proud of the legislation, Honourable Speaker, and we're going to continue to work on its implementation. Since we passed the bill, there's been more than 50 meetings, Honourable Speaker, with representative groups. We're going to continue to do the work and continue to improve protections for patients and the regulation of health for health professionals in BC.